UnitedHealth Group is the largest private health insurer in the United States. It covers more than 70 million Americans. In 2020, it quietly acquired a care management company called NaviHealth, which had spent years developing a proprietary artificial intelligence model. The model was called NHPredict. Built on a database of 6 million patients, NHPredict was designed to calculate exactly how many days of post-acute care, skilled nursing, rehabilitation, home health, an elderly patient should require following a serious medical event. It would analyze the patient's age, diagnosis, living situation, and physical function. Then it would generate a number. That number determined when UnitedHealth would stop paying for care. Not the treating physician, not the clinical specialist, the algorithm. And behind the algorithm was a set of financial calculations that UnitedHealth's own internal records would later reveal to federal investigators. To understand how a software system deployed by the largest health insurer in America could override the medical judgment of treating physicians at scale, we have to examine the structural mechanics of how NHPredict was built and what it was designed to optimize. The system did not evaluate whether a patient needed care. It compared the patient against a historical database of similar patients and calculated how long those patients had historically stayed in post-acute facilities. When a patient's actual stay approached or exceeded the algorithm's predicted endpoint, NHPredict flagged the case for denial. The clinical assessment of the doctor who had physically examined the patient carried no weight in this calculation. The algorithm's dataset carried the entire decision. The financial consequences of this architecture were not incidental, they were the point. According to the United States Senate Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations, which released a landmark report in October 2024, UnitedHealth's post-acute care prior authorization denial rate increased from 10.9% in 2020, the year it acquired NaviHealth, to 22.7% in 2022. In the same period, its skilled nursing facility denial rate did not double or triple. It increased ninefold, from 1.4% in 2019 to 12.6% in 2022. The Senate report documented that these increases coincided directly with the wider deployment of NHPredict across UnitedHealth's Medicare Advantage patient population. NaviHealth's own internal operating guidelines, which the Senate investigation obtained and published, contained a specific mandatory instruction to its care coordinators. The instruction read, quote, "Important, do not guide providers or give providers answers to the questions." The employees managing these cases were explicitly directed not to share with physicians the reasoning behind the algorithm's denial decisions. The system was deliberately insulated from clinical challenge at the point of contact. A doctor who wanted to fight a denial could not obtain the specific data inputs that had generated it. The most operationally significant figure in the federal class action complaint against UnitedHealth is not the denial rate. It is the error rate. According to the complaint, filed on behalf of the estate of Gene Locken and other deceased Medicare Advantage members, NHPredict carried a 90% error rate. 9 out of every 10 claims denied by the algorithm were ultimately reversed when patients or their families fought back, either through internal appeals or through rulings by federal administrative law judges. The algorithm that UnitedHealth described publicly as a care support tool was, by its own documented track record, wrong 90% of the time. The complaint then documents the calculation that UnitedHealth's own internal analysis had established. The algorithm was wrong 90% of the time, but only 0.2% of policyholders ever appealed a denied claim. The mathematics of that asymmetry are the precise mechanism of the enterprise. For every 1,000 claims denied by NHPredict, 900 were reversible errors, but only 2 of those policyholders would ever actually challenge the decision. The remaining 898 denials stood, not because they were medically justified, because the patients did not know they could fight back, did not have the energy to fight back, or died before they had the opportunity. By December 2022, UnitedHealth had identified the appeal problem and moved to preempt it. Internal records obtained by the Senate investigation revealed that the company had formed a working group specifically to explore how machine learning could be used to predict which denial decisions were most likely to be appealed and overturned by federal judges. The company was not building this system to correct the errors. It was building it to anticipate which errors were likely to be discovered and to strategically manage the exposure. The system was aware of its own inaccuracy. It was designed to survive it. UnitedHealth was not operating alone. The Senate Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations examined 3 of the largest Medicare Advantage insurers simultaneously: UnitedHealth, CVS Health, and Humana. All 3 had deployed predictive algorithms to manage post-acute care authorizations. All 3 had seen denial rates increase in direct correlation with the deployment of those systems. CVS projected $77.3 million in savings from its post-acute analytics project in 2021. Humana's long-term acute care hospital denial rate increased 54% following internal training sessions that, according to the Senate report, included specific tips on how to justify denials when speaking with providers. The structural failure was not an aberration at one company. It was an industry-wide architecture. The human consequence of this architecture was not abstract. Gene Locken was 91 years old when he fractured his leg and ankle in May 2022. His treating physicians prescribed skilled nursing facility care during his recovery. Under standard Medicare Advantage entitlements, patients with a qualifying hospital stay are eligible for up to 100 days of skilled nursing care. According to the federal complaint, NH-Predict flagged his case for denial within 14 days. His coverage was cut. The financial and medical burden was transferred directly to his family. Gene Locken is now deceased. His estate is a named plaintiff in the class action that would eventually force a federal court in March 2026 to order UnitedHealth to disclose the full internal architecture of NH-Predict, including employee incentive structures and the performance evaluations tied to denial rates. On December 4, 2024, UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson was shot and killed outside a Manhattan hotel as he walked to an investor conference. The ammunition recovered at the scene carried 3 words inscribed on the casings: delay, deny, depose. They are the 3 operational pillars of a legal framework that insurance industry plaintiffs' attorneys have used for decades to describe systematic claim obstruction. A NORC survey conducted by the University of Chicago in the aftermath of Thompson's death found that 70% of Americans believed insurance company claim denials and corporate profits bore a moderate or great amount of responsibility for what happened. Luigi Mangione, the 26-year-old charged with Thompson's murder, left a handwritten note describing the insurance industry as, quote, parasitic. He has pleaded not guilty. The reckoning with NH-Predict did not come from internal medical oversight at UnitedHealth. It did not come from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. It came from a federal class action lawsuit filed by the families of deceased patients, a Senate investigation triggered by public outrage, and a federal court order issued in March 2026 forcing UnitedHealth to open its internal records to legal scrutiny for the first time. In February 2026, UnitedHealth's CEO Stephen Hemsley appeared before the House Energy and Commerce Committee. Representative Nanette Berrigan pulled up the company's documented denial rate data directly on the hearing room screen and asked him to explain the numbers. The exchange that followed is in the public congressional record. As of 2026, UnitedHealth Group reports annual revenues exceeding $360 billion. It remains the largest health insurer in the United States. The class action lawsuit, Estate of Locken versus UnitedHealth Group, is active in the District of Minnesota. The court has ordered disclosure of NH-Predict's full internal architecture. NaviHealth has been rebranded as Optum Home and Community Care. The algorithm has been rebranded as a care support tool. The denial rate for skilled nursing care has not returned to its pre-2020 level. Gene Locken's doctor said yes. The algorithm said no. The algorithm was wrong 90% of the time. The company knew. The court files are unsealed. The transaction records are public. The code is still running.